So growing up in Texas, I never really, uh, obviously until I started voting and became a little more educated on politics. I never really knew the difference between a Democrat and a Republican because Texas, being a red state, um, I never really heard about the Democratic Party. Uh, any politician that I knew of was a Republican, and so so growing up, I really didn't know the difference. I didn't know that the Democratic Party was anything that really existed, or if it was as powerful as it truly is. So when I turned 18, which was 2008, so um, obviously that was an election year, and Barack Obama was running against John McCain. Um, it was very eye opening to me. It was very it was kind of a whirlwind of information and change. We were going from a Republican administration to basically a first either way. I mean, we had our first black candidate on the Democratic side, and then we also had a Republican um, who had a woman running as his VP candidate. So I think that's really what got me interested in politics in general, and knowing and learning as much information as I possibly could to make as informed of a decision that I could. And so that's what got me turned on to the Democratic Party was really learning about change and about progress, and honestly, like, what could help me be the best me throughout my lifetime. And so I started investing in my own future with my vote. I mean, at 18, I was fairly newly out. I had come out a few years before that. I was growing into adulthood, and I was on this cusp of this radical change in politics, and I wanted to be a part of it. I wanted so badly to be a part of what makes America America. And so yeah, I voted for Barack Obama that year. I also voted for him in 2012. And I, to this day, am very, very proud of that vote still. I couldn't imagine a better first election to be voting in. And now here we are again at, this another brim of change. I mean, we have our first woman candidate of a major political party running for president, and it's amazing. It's just, first off, I love Hillary, so even if she were running independent, I'd probably still be on her side. But then also what she represents, what the party represents, what they do for people like me and for people who I care about, is just amazing. I mean, to be part of this movement in the gay community, in the fighting for the welfare of children and women, which is just insane to me. Like, why in 2016 are we still dealing with women's health issues, with children's welfare, with race, with the gay agenda that's been labeled on us? It's just insane to me. So yeah, I want to continue the progress. I also know that my vote every election doesn't necessarily mean that I'm putting someone in office. It means that I'm helping my future. I'm helping gear toward what I feel I need in life. And for me, that's basic human rights. For me, that's protection by this document, the Constitution, that is supposed to protect all of us. And then also protection for the people I care about. Children, women, low income, every race, every religion. So that's why I'm voting. And that's why I'm voting the way I'm voting. That's why I'm voting for Hillary Clinton. It's, to me, at least, it's a no-brainer. So yeah. I also hear a lot, especially from my generation, that there are so many people that are choosing not to vote this year. There's a lot of negative response to that from a lot of different people, from every political party. Your vote counts, your vote matters, your vote, it's your right, and you need to vote. And as much as I agree with that, I also agree with the right not to vote. I believe that if you are born here, or if you become a naturalized citizen of the United States, you are given a right to vote. Yes. It should be protected. Yes. It is an amazing right to have. A lot of people around the world do not have that right. So yeah, it's a big deal. But I also believe that we live in a country where you have the right to choose. You have the right to choose not to vote. You have the right to choose to vote for this person, or no one at all. And I think that if you have exhausted all options, and if you have acquired as much information as you feel you need to make that decision, then it's yours to make. I also believe that if you don't vote, you don't have a voice. And there are so many people in this country who, whether they be underage or immigrants who are here, who don't have a voice and really care about the welfare of this country and the people in it, and the freedom it represents. So yeah, voting or not voting, it is your choice. Because at the end of the day, no one's going to drag you to the voting booth and force you to vote for someone. But a vote equals a voice. So if you don't vote, then for the next 4 to 8 years, you have given up the right to protest anything that you don't see fit. Because you weren't a part of the process that put that person in office, whether you had voted for them or not. You didn't vote at all. So take it seriously, because it's a right that we fought for, it's a right that we earned, and it's a right that we're given, and it's important. It's so important for the future of you, your children, your children's children. I mean, this is, no matter what the outcome of this election, just like the last election, just like the election before that, will go down in history. I mean, the decisions that are made during the next administration will forever be remembered. And you can either be a part of that or not. So that's how I feel about voting.